welcome to Becky's Garden BNC. Today I'm going to be sharing with you an update on my gooseberries. So in the spot you can see all the little seedlings that have popped up. Now I do have one seedling that is a little bit different than the rest, and I've even noticed that the leaf shape is different, and I'll zoom down in here just a little bit so you can see the leaf. It is a lot smoother. Come on, focus. It's a lot smoother than the other ones. I'm a little bit shaky and the wind's blowing pretty good out here. There. And the leaf shape is a little bit different. It's not quite as jagged as the other ones. So you can see these are the other ones. And it's just a little bit more smooth. And it's kind of getting a little bit shaded out. I might want to try to dig around this one a little bit and kind of isolate it, maybe in its own pot. So I'll probably be doing that. You can see some of the other ones. Zoom in. They're starting to get like the little spikes on the stems. I don't know if you can see that very well. And it's kind of blowing a lot. There we go. And so those are doing really well. And I only have one of these seedlings that was different than the rest, and that was this one right here. And I'm holding another leaf in my hand because I was trying to do a comparison to something that sprouted in one of my other pots. Volunteers, you gotta love them. But yeah, so I'm kind of excited. I'm not sure what the deal is, but even the baby leaves were more rounded. You can see that. Zoom, zoom, zoom. There we go. Yeah, they're a little bit more rounded, and the other leaves were a little bit more oblong, a little bit more of an oval shape. And so my raspberry bush is just completely filled in. It's already developing blooms, and so there we go. You can see the blooms right there. And so I'll be having raspberries here in a couple months probably. I zoom over here, and here's the other gooseberries. And I'll just take a quick trip right over here to my other pots. I still need to weed eat. I did some mowing the other day with my lawn mower, and I have a push mower, so it's a little bit more exercise. Pardon me, you guys. I picked up a cold from my children, so I'm gonna open this up so we can see. Now I have planted some other little trees in here to help them because I don't have any room in my home. But this is how this one's doing. It is doing a great. Look at this. I'm probably gonna have to move it out of this. It's kind of flimsy here. I might need to stabilize it a little bit, move it into a bigger pot. If anybody else grows these kind of things, let me know. Yeah, it probably shouldn't be moving around like that, right? So I'll just leave it be. Don't mess with the good thing. You can see my other little sprouts. I had done these in little paper towels in the kitchen, and these were the honey tangerines. Now, I know that when you grow seeds that they may not be true to the fruit that you ate, so I don't really care about that. I was just having fun growing. I just grow for the fun of it. So if they come out and I end up with tangerines that look like the ones I bought in the store, cool beans. If not, no big deal. And so over here I've got that tall one in the back is a Meyer lemon. And then yeah, the other ones don't look like they came up, so that's all good. But here is my other gooseberry. This was the smaller one earlier this year, and the other one is still so little. Like, I don't even know if you can even see it. It is right there. It's not really growing. So it's still alive, but I'm thinking I'll probably end up just the moss is bigger than it actually. It's about the same size as it now, but the other seedling, it came up. It's doing great. So I've got plenty of other gooseberries. So, and it looks like this is a gooseberry coming up right here also. So I mean, hey, you know what? I'm not gonna complain too much. I'm sorry about that. You guys see nothing but the green. And so I've got some little things just here and there. I've got these here. I put some root stuff on this. It broke off of an azalea plant that I had purchased to replace some plants that my landlord had planted died last year. And so I got some little replacement plants that have some color to them to put out front. And I figured I didn't kill the plants that my landlord put in. When I pulled out the dead ones last year, they were all root bound, and they hadn't like loosened the roots, and so I'm just thinking it was a really poor planting that they did. I'm sorry. And so I just figured, why not try to see if I can get it to root? So I put some root compound on it and I stuck it in the ground. Now, you guys, I am not a pro at all. I can generally get things to sprout. Keeping them alive, that doesn't always happen, but I enjoy it. I enjoy experimenting and trying to see what will live, what won't live. I'll be doing an update on my jackfruit trees here soon. They're still in my kitchen and the windowsill because they are a tropical plant in Washington State. Here we still have pretty cool evenings, like today right now. It's actually kind of chilly. There's this little plant off of the weather onto something else. I swear I've never been diagnosed, but I'm pretty sure I have ADHD pretty darn bad because I will jump from one topic to another. I don't make notes when I'm doing my videos. If I start doing this more full time as like a YouTube thing, I might have to make some notes, but as for now, I will just normally keep my videos fairly short. This one's already 6 minutes and 30 some odd seconds in. So right here we have a volunteer plant that has popped up in my pot. I was comparing it to this, which is, it looks like some sort of wild cherry tree. It's on the other side of the fence, and it doesn't have like a main trunk. It has like many little areas, but the birds in the forest right here behind my house really love this tree. So when it fruits, they're going nuts over it. We got woodpeckers in my backyard, little finches, and I'm always seeing the big giant crows are always around. And they're always fighting over stuff in the yard, whether it be out in the yard. I did do some mowing, so I can share now. So it looks a little bit better than it had. Let's see. There's right over there you can see like a dark spot on the ground right in front of that shed, which we're gonna paint for our landlords with some paint that they gave us last year. That way it will look nice. But that stump right there, the woodpeckers really love it because I guess they chopped down the tree, and so the woodpeckers go and they peck at that because there's all these little bugs there, and they really love it. So anyways, yeah, so I've got all my pots along the fence. I do need a weed eat. I haven't tackled the back section of the yard yet. As you can see, it's the grass is all tall back there, but it's a decent sized yard for a rental. But the people who lived here before me, my neighbors had told me that there was like a 10-foot pile of trash right about in the middle, right there where you see right over here. Yeah. There was like a 10-foot pile of trash all the way back to the back fence. There's still like knife blades back there from steak knives. There's still like little piles of trash that I had started raking up last year that didn't get fully cleaned up. So I'm gonna have to get my weed eater, my safety goggles, and I'm gonna have to go out there and I'm gonna have to weed eat all the way up next to the fence and just kind of clean it all up so it looks nice. I mean, if this was my home and it wasn't a rental, what I would probably end up doing is that whole back section, I would probably from right over here, and I would just go all the way along the line, probably maybe even bring it closer and line it up with the front of these posts here for the shed, and all the whole back section, I would probably mulch the entire section and put raised beds all the way in the back area, all the way in the back, and I would just have like my garden back there. If this was my home and not a rental. But since it's a rental, I'm not going to waste my time nor my money in prettifying something for my landlords who, you know, probably wouldn't even give me a like money back for putting time into, because it would really actually make this yard look really spectacular if it was all mulched all the way in the back, like all the way across, and then it all looked nice with maybe a couple. You know, the raised beds can always be moved and mulch put in for like the next people, so that if they want to do raised beds, they can do raised beds if they want, you know. But I could plant some plants in between the raised beds that, you know, could stay here for the landlords. And but I'm hoping that we don't have to live here too many more years. Maybe it's looking like it might be another 3 years. So I don't know. Maybe we'll talk to the landlords. See, I don't know. I don't know if I want to waste my time or my money. But yeah, the people who lived here before, like I had said, ADHD guys, there was trash 10 feet up. And then there's still like a rope. I don't know if you can see it. I'll try to see. I don't know if I can zoom in. There's like this yellow thing hanging from the tree right there. It's swinging just a tiny bit. And then up higher, there's a limb right above it. That's like stuck on, like, it broke up in the tree and it didn't fall all the way down. Well, one of these days that's not going to be good. I'm hoping nobody's underneath the tree when that falls, but when the wind blows, a bunch of other limbs fell down a couple weeks ago, and we had a nice storm. But the people who lived here before us, that were renting, the landlords had to evict them because they had trash everything. There was somebody living in this shed in the back, and they had wiring illegally like set up to the shed, and then there was a nasty shed on the back that the landlords had given us permission to remove. And so we removed the other shed because there was just nothing but like critters and like spiders and gross stuff living back there. My husband still has to get the rest of the flooring, that the beams. We'll probably end up cutting them up and maybe having a little bonfire, make a little fire pit or something, and then burn it. But the people who lived here, they had so much trash back here, and there's still some trash behind the shed over here. So once my husband gets that all cleared out, then I'll be able to use the rake, and I'll be able to clean all the trash out. But yeah, I don't want to put a garden in out here because, one, it's a lot of work. Two, it's just a rental, so that's why you see a row of pots. And so I've got all my berry bushes and stuff, and down on the end I had picked up some pecan trees, and I'd gotten them for like $5 a piece. But when I got them, they looked super dry. I don't even know if they're alive. When I kind of moved the trunk part, I guess you would say, it's bendable. So I'm not messing with it too much. I don't want to like start snapping it, and you know, that would just be bad. But I did put some root compound on it to try to bring it back, because the soil was a bit dry when I bought it, and so I'm kind of worried that maybe they're not going to survive. But if they do, cool. And I'm just going to leave them in the pots until after we move, so I can get them in the ground. If they don't make it, no big deal. But yeah, all my berries are doing good, and I've got all my plants planted, and I'm gonna be adding more things to some of these. I did do that video on the Lebanon, or not Lebanon, it was a Himalayan I was totally saying that wrong. The Himalayan pine. And so I actually dug down into the dirt a little bit so I could see where it was coming, what kind of seed it was coming out of. And when I saw the shape of the seed, I knew for a fact it wasn't a volunteer. And then actually, let me walk over there really quick. I'll let you see. It actually, it looks a lot different than like the stem of it. There we go. I'll zoom in a little bit, move my finger out of the way. It looks a lot different. If you can see that, the stem is a lot thicker than the one that came up from the Washington state, and it's kind of got a reddish hue. And if you look at the seed, it's very, very different, and it's trying to come off. And I know the tips have like this little white stuff on it. And I don't want to mess with it too much because I don't want to hurt it. I want it to be able to do its thing naturally. But I can just move it just a little bit so you can see the seed there. There we go. Yeah. So I remembered when I had planted it that's what the seeds looked like. And the Washington State seeds that blew in from the tree that's in my backyard here, right by my backyard, it looks completely different. Like, it's doing great though. This one over here, right there, it's doing really good. It's putting up some new growth right here in the middle. And see, this sprouted last fall, and so it's, you know, over winter. Anyways, my kids are coming out. They're being loud. They really love me. You are interrupting my video. You're being silly. Okay, so we got some little sprouts here. I don't know what these are. So this will be interesting to find out what these are coming from. I don't know. A lot of times stuff just starts growing in the pots, and they can be volunteer seeds. I don't know. I had planted some Turkish filbert hazelnut trees seeds in this, but I don't know if that's what these are. They look kind of small. I don't know. There's another one right here, so I don't know. Time will tell. If I have some hazelnut trees, who knows? But definitely they won't be remaining in these. I'll probably be getting like one of those bulb planter type things that you use to it makes a giant circle around the plant. And so I would definitely, if these are trees, I'll definitely be moving these into some better pots, because I mean, it gets cool here, but it doesn't get below freezing. So I mean all summer long, or not summer, what am I saying, oh my goodness, all winter. I mean, it got chilly here, it got cold, we had some snow, we had some frost and that sort of thing, but it wasn't like crazy. But anyways, thank you guys for chit-chatting with me and talking, and my kid's in the background being a silly boy, and he's doing a funny dance like y'all can see him. But anyways, you guys have a great day. Bye.